What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. You know, one of the topics that get a lot of people commenting, get a lot of opinion, is when you talk about survival guns, firearms, ammunition, magazines, what you need, how much you need. It seems like everyone has their opinion based on what, I don't know, but everyone has their opinions, like to make those opinions known. And unfortunately, preppers love our firearms. And we love to spend too much money on those and neglect, you know, a lot of other preps that are essential to our survival. A lot of people claiming to be preppers will have multiple firearms totaling 15, 20, 30 or more thousands of dollars in firearms, and no food storage, no ammunition, no cleaning supplies, very few magazines, and they don't even shoot most of those firearms, or if any for that matter, maybe once a year. They will put those in the safe and put those back, and those are what I call safe queens. You put those in the safe and they're never shot. You get them out and look at them and you rub them, make you feel better because you have those, but you're not proficient in those and you don't have anything else you need to survive, or at least very little. So that's one mistake a lot of preppers make. And you know, in fact, there's even been full books written on survival guns. This is by Mel Tappan, actually, titled Survival Guns. This came out in the 1970s, I think 1976. This is nearly 500 pages of small print telling you what guns you need. I mean, do you really need a manual with 500 pages to tell you what guns you need to prep with? I mean, is it really that important to have a 500-page book? And this isn't the only book about this. This book's dated. I don't recommend you get this book now because it's, like I said, 1976. So the information is very, very dated now. So don't get this. This is an example of what people has put down in literature and things, a recommendation for survival firearms. Because it's a big market, it's a big topic, and it gets a lot of preppers all twitchy and giggly thinking about, you know, their firearms and ammunition. And why is that? Why do preppers spend so much time acquiring firearms and putting those back? I think that one of the main reasons is that they put those back, they buy those and put those back because they think that that's all they're going to need. If they have a gun, they can get what they want. So they think they're going to go on this rampage and take what they want from other people. And unfortunately for them, it's not going to work out very well. In my opinion, it won't last very long because someone will drop you. That's just the nature of being a criminal, of being a parasite on the community. The community will get together, the community will hunt you down and kill you. That's what will happen if you start trying to do that. So don't rely on being a wolf prepper to supply your needs. You need guns, ammunition, and accessories to defend yourself, to hunt with, to defend your garden, and defend your community. You don't need those to go out and try to rob other people. If that's your plan, then I hope you get what you deserve, because that's not a prepping plan. That's not a survival plan. Now, with that said, how many guns do you actually need? How many firearms do you actually need? And I think for each individual in your family or group, you can get by with 3. 5 is much better because it will cover more territory. We'll talk about each one of those here in just a second. But you can get by with 3. And the first one is a centerfire rifle to defend yourself with, and your property and your family and your community, actually. You can have something like this AR-15 with, you know, it'll take sight and things like that on it, a light and everything you need to defend yourself with. You can also get, you know, the AK platforms. You can get something like, you know, a 30-30 Winchester or Marlin if you already had that. Put back more ammunition for that. Don't sell that and buy something like this. You know, if you're proficient with that and already had that, just put back some more ammunition for that 30-30. If you have, you know, old military rifles, like L1 Garand, works great. 30-06, very powerful, good range, good punch. Ammunition, those clips that go down the top, are definitely have you be able to defend your property and your community with that. It's a good gun. So if you have something like that, don't sell it to buy something like this. Keep it and take the money to buy more ammunition, what you already have, get more training things. If you can get something like even the SKS, works great. They're more difficult to find now, but I remember years ago you could get those for $80 or $90 a piece. If you'd have purchased those then and had several of those, I mean, you could be totally armed. Some hunting guns, you know, in 308, 30-06, bolt action rifles and things, some of the semi-automatics can double for self-defense weapons of your property and your community. So don't go out and sell what you already have to get something like something that's cool, you think is cool. use that money that you would do that with to purchase more ammunition and more survival supplies and more food and things like that. So the first thing is, center-fire rifle to defend your property with, something with long range, something with some good punch, and then get proficient with that. Next is a good handgun. Something like a Glock Model 19, in my opinion, is perfect because of the size, the weight, the magazine capacity. It's good for concealed carry. It's good for open holster carry. It's good for running the farm. It's good to have on you when you can't have something like this, on you at all times. So having a handgun is definitely something to have, and it's also good for a backup. If you shoot your rifle and you run out of ammunition, it breaks, something like that. You can throw it down. You can bring your handgun out and have your handgun. So having a handgun is definitely recommended. And it doesn't have to be, a Glock 19. If you already have something like a Ruger SP-101, great handgun, keep that. If you have, it needs to be a center-fire handgun. Don't rely on a rim-fire handgun to defend yourself with, because it doesn't have the punch, it doesn't have the stopping power. It has killing power, and there's a big difference between killing power and stopping power. Sure, 22 rifle handgun, 22 long rifle round will kill someone, kill large animals like deer and things like that. However, the stopping power is very minimal. I've seen video of police shootings where the police have had 40 caliber handguns and emptied the magazine, and the perp keep on coming because they're on drugs to keep coming. And so don't rely on a 22 caliber handgun to defend yourself with. You need something that is 9mm or 38 special or above. And the better the magazine capacity is a plus in my opinion, so I think the Glock Model 19 is ideal for that situation. Next is a good shotgun. Good 12 gauge or 20 gauge shotgun. Can be used for self-defense, can be used for foraging, can be used for defending your garden from crows, from rabbits, from squirrels, and put those in the pot. So, a good pump action 12 gauge shotgun or 20 gauge shotgun I think is ideal. Mossberg is good. There's multiple brands that are good. I like Mossberg 12 gauge pump action shotguns. Semi-automatic can also be good. If you can't afford that, if you already have, a break open single shot shotgun, that works great for defending your garden and things like that, and actually for limited self-defense. So you have a center-fire rifle, you have a handgun, and you have a 12 gauge shotgun. Multiple usages and 3 firearms. If you want to expand that, then you can get like I said, some of your hunting rifles can double as self-defense weapons, as community defensive weapons. But if you already have, something like this and you want to get something to hunt with, like a big game rifle, like a 30-06 or a 338 Magnum or something like that, you can do that. So you can add that on there for longer range, for hunting deer, bear, elk, whatever's in your area. And guys, the next firearm is a good 22 rifle. There's multiple brands and things that work well. I like a Ruger 1022. They function well. You can get 25 round Ruger magazines to increase that magazine capacity, and they're good for practice, they're good for small game, and actually limited self-defense. So guys, you don't need a whole room full of firearms, a whole huge safe full of 50, 75 guns. You can get by with 3, 5 or 6 will put you where you need to be at, in my opinion. You don't need any more for each member of your group. You don't want to have just one, AR-15 in the family. If you have a family of, say, 4, you want each person to have an AR-15, because you want to be able to defend yourself from different locations, different positions, and things like that, and having multiple firearms for each member of the group. So each group would have, an AR-15, for example, or AK platform, something like that, and a handgun. You want to try to standardize all you can to use the same ones in your family or your group. So if you decide on, an AR platform, for example, and say a Glock Model 19, don't have one person with that and this over here with a 45, 1911, AK. Have each member of your group with the same type firearms, standardization, where you can train on the same ones. You can use the same magazines if you need to. Same ammunition, the same spare parts, the same cleaning supplies can be used throughout the whole group or the family unit. So try to standardize which firearm that you choose. Like I said, you can choose from multiple ones. There's no perfect firearm, but try to standardize everyone in your group to use the same ones, especially when it comes to the defensive rifle and the handgun. Each members have the same things. Like I said, parts will interchange, ammunition, spare magazines, things like that, because if you're in a firefight and you run out of ammunition yourself, and you might need to get a magazine from your group member, your family member, they can hand you a magazine and you put that in your rifle and you're good to go. If you have an AR and they have an AK, then you can't do that. So you need to standardize all of your firearms among your group. Now we got that out of the way, let's talk about ammunition. How much ammunition do you actually need? For center fire rifles, I think a minimum of 1,000 rounds each rifle. That's for each member of your group. Should be the minimum. If you have, say 5 members in your family and they each have, AR-15, then you need 5,000 rounds of ammunition for the AR-15. So you want to have at least 1,000 rounds for every center fire rifle, in my opinion. And once you have that squared away, how many rounds do you need for your handguns? And I say a minimum of 500 rounds per handgun. So if you have, like I said, 5 members of your group in your family, each one should have 500 rounds put back for their handgun. So if it's a Glock Model 19, what you decided to use, put back 500 rounds of 9mm for each person in your group. So we have 1,000 rounds minimum per person for your battle rifles. We have 500 rounds each for your handguns. Now, 500 rounds for your shotgun. You need to mix this ammunition up, for your shotgun. For your 12 gauge, 20 gauge shotgun, you need to get some birdshot, I like number 6 shot. You need to get some double walk buckshot, number 4 buckshot, some slugs. Mix the ammunition up in that 500 rounds, mainly with number 6 shot, but you can add some of the other two to take down larger game and for self-defense purposes. So 500 rounds for your shotgun. So 500 rounds for the handgun, 1,000 minimum for your battle rifle, and 500 rounds for, the shotgun. And you don't have to have a shotgun for every member of your group. You can have, if you have a group with 5 members, say for example a family group. If you have a larger group, it'd take more, but just say 5 members. You can have 1 shotgun for that group, preferably 2, but you don't need 1 for every member of that group. And guys, the same thing with the .22 rifle. You don't need 1 for every member of the group. If you have 1 or 2 to 5 members in the group, that's good to use. You can use it, you can borrow that, but in amongst the members of the group and use that for hunting and foraging and things like that. So 1 or 2, say Ruger 1022 says sufficient. And you need to have at least 5,000 rounds of .22 long rifle ammunition, in my opinion. You don't want to stock up on just any .22 ammunition either. You want to get multiple different brands and bullet weights and use that in your rifles to see which one shoots the best and is most reliable in the rifle that you have. So test it first and then stock up on at least 5,000 rounds for each .22 rifle in your group. Okay, now let's talk about spare magazines. How many spare magazines do you need for your battle rifle? And I think a minimum of 12 for each member of the group. For AR-15s, AK platforms, and things like that, you need a minimum of 12. Now, how many handgun magazines do you need? I think you need at least 6 for each member of your group. 6 handgun magazines, 12 rifle magazines, more if you can afford that. That should be, a bare minimum. And more ammunition if you can afford that. What I'm giving here is the bare minimum I think you should strive to have to feel like you're pretty much in a good position. If you have less than that, you're not really in a good position, I don't think. And guys, how many spare magazines do you need for your .22 rifles? I think between 3 and 6 spare magazines is ideal. 6 will get you there for each rifle you have in your group. You also need to have cleaning supplies put back for each firearm. Know how to use that firearm, know how to clean that firearm. And don't just rely on putting those back. Get those out and use those. You need to have spare parts. You know how to repair those. So it's not just about putting back firearms. You need the guns, but not a whole lot. You need ammunition, you need spare magazines, you need cleaning supplies, web gear and things like that to be able to use those efficiently. And you need training. But don't spend, $50,000, $60,000 on just your guns. You need other things to make those be able to use those to the full efficiency. You need training. You need to have ammunition, spare magazines, like I said, web gear, cleaning supplies, spare parts, know how to repair that. Know your gun inside and out, know everything about it, know how to use that, and be proficient with that. Standardize your group and stockpile mainly ammunition, spare magazines over, firearms. Have the guns you need, like I said, for each member of your group, like I detailed in this video, but stockpile the ammunition, that spare magazines, those parts that you can repair your firearms with, those cleaning supplies. and get training, know how to use that. And the ammunition I gave is what you have on stock all the time. If you go out and train and use some of the ammunition, you need to replace that. So you need to have this amounts on stock that I give in this video at all times. If you go out and practice, go out and shoot, replenish that as quickly as possible, or better yet, go out and buy that first, and then put that new ammunition in your supply and take out the old ammunition and use that for your training purposes. Anyway, if you liked the video, get a big thumbs up. If you subscribed, be sure to do that. The camera's ready to go dead here, so I'm trying to hurry up this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that. Turn notifications on, be notified each time I upload a new video. If you like the video, have comments or whatever, leave those down in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I'm the Creekmore Mountain, and I'll see you all in the next video, hopefully.